am just recording. Hello, e-learners. Where's your sister? Where's your sister? Oh, you moved forward. Okay, that's fine. Could you go hit the lights? Turn them both off. All right. So some of you from last year, right, will remember this. I thought about making brand new presentation, and I chose not to make. So you may or may not remember this. We shall see. I'm not. That's why I didn't make new slides.
So don't stand insincere at the side of my grave. I will not be broken. I will not go down. I won't be turned away when it's too cold to breathe, and it's too dark to breathe. I've come too far to give up or to keep turning around. I will not be broken. I will not go down. When it's too cold to breathe, when it's too dark to breathe, I've come too far to give up or to be surrounded. I'm the night beyond. I won't be turned away. When it's too cold to breathe, when it's too dark to breathe, I've come too far to give up or to be turned around. I'm the night beyond. I'm the night. Oh,
The demon came out.
you can run away from home, but you can't run away from your pain. Now I sit here alone. There's always someone else to blame. It's up to you.
After he died.
I just showed you an 8.5-minute video on skateboarding in a math class.
Because physics.
Why did I just do that?
Because he likes to go on tangents.
Yes, but really, why did I do that?
So that we have time to.
Maybe, but no. I would like to think that, but no. No one can figure this one out.
Math.
Oh, by the way, guys, I showed this video to you last year.
I did not remember.
Yeah, I did.
None of us remember.
Well, you just don't remember.
No,
Okay, so then I'll tell you. And so it's a metaphor, obviously, for what will happen this year. So how does the video start?
Him sucking so hard at skating.
And then what happens?
He gets extremely good.
Well, how did he get extremely good?
By practicing way
So
too
what's
much.
the metaphor?
Don't
practice
practice.
makes perfect.
Okay, so obviously I'm trying to tell you that, you know, even a professional skateboarder, right, isn't perfect, right? They make mistakes, but they get better by doing practice. Obviously the message there is, you know, call it homework, call it effort, call it paying attention, that you can get good at whatever it is you want to get good at. Maybe not as good as he is at skateboarding, but we can all reach a level of goodness, perfection, or however you want to describe it, if we do a little work, right? And you've heard me, those of you have had me, it's not called home play, it's called home work, right? It's called class work. There is an amount of effort that you have to put into it. Maybe you're a genius out there and that all of this math stuff comes easy, but for most of us, it does require work and effort. And to expect that there's going to be some times you fall down on your bottom, right? And you have to pick yourself up and continue to work. So that's the message. Oh, by the way, how does the video end?
He jumps off of a helicopter.
Does he live?
He's got a parachute.
No, he dies.
Notice the video faded out. So that's the last metaphor there is we are starting a class, right, tomorrow, the first math lesson. We don't know how it's going to end out. We know that, he had a parachute. We expect it to work out good. But if he didn't pack the parachute well, right, if he doesn't do what he needs to do to open the parachute, bad things could happen. And no, I don't want to say you're going to die if you do poorly in math. But that's the metaphor of the video is that we don't know what's going to happen. Anything, there's a whole laundry list of possibilities. Yes?
I'm here for your lunch. They just said 9th grade. They said math.
We're good.
Yes.
I'll take care of it.
You really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, lost my train of thought. Yeah, so the last metaphor is that we don't know what's going to happen, right? We expect everything to be well, but, there's some consequences that could happen. Unfortunately, his is the parachute better open. Okay, so I always show that as the first video of, once we get going into class. And I like the song. Oh, by the way, the song for you music people, what's the name of the song? Oh, there it goes again. What's the name of the song? Or what were the lyrics? I will not be broken. And that's the sense of, I don't care what the task is. I don't care what's happened. I'm not going to be, my spirit will not be broken. I will continue, I will drive on and I will have success. So there's another, life lesson there. So yes, we just answered those two questions. What did you notice and how does it apply to math? I mean, some kids will say, oh, the angles and the velocity and the turning and the 360 degrees. And yeah, okay. But the real lesson there is that you should practice. And if you do fall, pick yourself back up, keep working. Obviously, I'm Mr. Chartier. Yesterday, you introduced yourselves, so I'll introduce myself to you. I grew up in Alabama, way down south in Mobile. I finished high school. I was an average student in high school. I was always an A student in math. I didn't really realize I was good at math until I took geometry, which you guys will take next year. But I did know I was good in math, but I also knew that my parents, we were not poor, but we didn't have enough money to send me. Back then, there weren't all these scholarships and opportunities. It was, you had to pay money to go to college, and my family didn't have money to go to college, so they were like, get a job or go in the military. And I was like, okay, if you go to the military, after 3 years, they'll give you free college. I was like, sign me up. So I went in the Army. I intended to go for 3 years, but I spent 23 years. This was me when I was very young and very skinny. This is in a country in Africa called Senegal. I spent 20 of the 23 years in Special Forces. This is a satellite radio. We're calling back saying, everything's okay. Everything's good. Right? There were times when things weren't good. I jumped out of a lot of airplanes in the Army. You don't remember this from last year? This is me, right? All the time. So this is what they call a halo jump, high altitude, low opening. The parachute that you have 2 parachutes. You have a main and reserve. On the bottom here is the main, the top is the reserve. On your arm, you wear an altimeter. It tells you how high you are off the ground. When you see the little indicator there, it says you're at 0 feet. We're jumping from about 13,000 feet. If you jump over 13,000 feet, you have to wear oxygen mask. It's a pain in the butt. So whenever we're doing just practice jumps, a lot of times we would say, hey, we're not going above 13,000. But a general, like a mission jump, you'd be at night, 24, 26,000 feet. You see absolutely nothing. You jump into this big, dark pit of nothingness and hope that the person that tells you to go puts you in the right spot. You carry your rucksack behind. We don't have any rucksacks here. Your weapon goes right here. This is your main. This is how you open your main parachute. This is how you open up your reserve parachute. If your main goes bad, it's all messed up. You pull the red handle and it doesn't. We say cut away. It doesn't literally cut. It just disconnects it, so it goes away. So main parachute, reserve parachute.
You were in the special forces?
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Yes,
Do you have Sophia Van Duhoven in your class?
I do, and she's bringing the lunch to her brother right now.
Okay, can you send us the office where she comes back?
Will do.
Thank you.
There we go. Well, your brother's
How was
hungry.
the gas chambers?
Gas chamber's no big deal. All right. So, like I said, we did a lot of things, a lot of cool things. This is actually outside of Las Vegas right here. I just thought it was cool. Army taught me how to ski. I didn't see snow until I joined the Army. This is Crested Butte. So every year, if you're in 10th Special Forces, they send you to about a month of skiing. So for 20 years, I skied and went to really nice resorts for 2 weeks, and they would say downhill skiing, and then you did 2 weeks of backcountry skiing, which was always not fun. But the downhill skiing was always fun. This is me in Greece, and this is the Parthenon. We were doing some stuff there. This is a place called Kosovo. There were some bad guys, and we beat them, and they lost, and we took all their weapons. And we were happy that we were all alive, and so we took a picture. I worked for the CIA for a little bit over a year. This is me doing some bad things to bad people.
You look like the typical CIA.
When Baghdad, with the Iraq War, when Baghdad initially took over the entire country, you'll probably hear historical things about, they were always angry. They were very happy that Saddam Hussein was now no longer in power. I literally, here's picture proof. I literally was walking around and handing little kids American flags. Now, I didn't have a gun in my hand, but I was handing little American flags and handing out candy, and I was happy that day. My last duty station here is Fort Carson, and that's also why I live here now. So that's me. Because of your short classes, just remember the class. We're going to start tomorrow, and we're going to start Algebra 1. And Rylan, can I use you? Sure. Rylan is an average math student in the sense of he shows up, he sort of listens, and he's smart enough that he can kind of listen and get by. And if Rylan doesn't concentrate this year, he will not be a C, B, sometimes A student. He will run into problems. Now, I'm using him as an example, and there's many others of you that I could have chosen as well. There's other kids in here that study their butt off, and they work their butt off, and they're not going to notice any difference between pre-algebra and algebra 1. But there are kids here that have, last year you showed me pre-algebra effort. It was good enough to make it. If that's the effort that you show in algebra 1, not chapter 1 or chapter 2, but certainly starting with chapter 3, that if you're not on it, it will go south really quickly. So, big boy, big girl, math class this year, algebra 1. Talk to your parents, oh yeah, it was a hard course. There's others of you out there, like I said, that you're either mathematically gifted or you're just great students to begin with. You're going to say, I don't know what they're talking about. I thought it was easy type thing. But most students say that algebra 1 is challenging. So keep that in the back of your mind as we go forward tomorrow. Like I said, tomorrow you're gonna kill it tomorrow. Remember, my expectation is not to be a knucklehead. Be respectful and listen to me. And when I say knock it off, you knock it off. We are human beings, and I enjoy your personalities, but we do have a mission here to learn some math. So you got to listen to the teacher, and just do what you did last year. We'll be okay. My big expectations are: remember, you don't get up without asking. You don't talk until we're doing activities. Talk to your shoulder partner about this. And then when we are talking, Tristan, we're going to talk about
math.
Thank you. Right? Yeah, we're all humans. Okay, granted, give me 90% of that, and I'll be happy. I understand that we're not all perfect, and it's hard not to talk about other things. Especially, you look at your shoulder partner. What's the answer for it? Yep, that's what I got. We got it. And then you're kind of sitting there, and you're like, well, what are you going to do this weekend? That sort of thing, right? Remember, raise your hand if you have a question. Participate when asked. I will ask you questions every single day, and it's to help me. Now, I will, some kids out there are very shy. Those are probably the kids I might not ask 5 questions a day, but I am going to walk by and look at your paper that I hand out just to make sure you're on it, right? And then lastly, learn quickly, learn the procedures, right? The math is a different story, but you got to learn the procedures quickly. We're not going to curse in class, right, Rylan?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Bathroom breaks, we covered that yesterday. We're good on that? All right, you don't have to ask if it's an emergency. Just remember, you're probably going to the nurse after that, right? And then, this is lunch period as well, too. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be in charge of lunch. You know, the first couple of days I said I want to be in charge. It allows me to see you guys more, so we can have a relationship before we start the math. But it'll probably be a lunch person that comes in here, and I'm going to go eat my lunch, right?
What are you gonna eat? For lunch?
What?
What are you gonna eat for lunch?
Today's a ham sandwich.
What are you gonna eat tomorrow?
Well, it depends what I am very efficient. I always eat for lunch what I have for supper the night before. Last night we had tacos, and tacos just aren't a good lunch. They'll fall apart by the time the next day. So I didn't have any tortillas, so I couldn't make a burrito or anything like that. So I said I'll just make a ham sandwich. Okay, but you can't drink in here. We were supposed to have made this video at the end of the year, right? So this is a lie. This was supposed to be the Algebra 1 students talking to you. So this is a video from 2 years ago. It's stuttering for some reason.
Well, you have to have a good resource card coming up for every test that they should you study. You also have to do your homework that counts for a good portion of your grade.
She talks very fast.
Not likely to get high on the C.
Just to pay attention a lot.
It's frozen.
Keep studying your card.
Pay attention in class.
So we're listening to the voices.
Do homework and
Uniform violation.
miserable.
Make a really good resource card and make sure you listen to everything that's being said, because if you make one mistake, you mess up the whole.
Hey, there's your book from last year.
Pay attention, work hard, make a good resource card. Do your homework. Definitely do your homework. Make a resource card.
These are actually all the kids who took Algebra 1 last year.
Study. Any advice I could give is to ask questions, do the homework, and study as much as you can.
Make a resource card.
You will this year.
Make sure you pay attention and not mess.
I can't show this for a third year in a row.
Do your homework, study, and have a resource card when it comes to quizzes and tests. Pay attention to details in class and make a really good resource card.
Well, I guess the easiest way is you just make a resource card and actually do your homework when you're given homework.
Do all the examples before you do your homework and engage in class.
Pay attention and always have a resource card.
Always have a resource card.
Definitely do homework and turn something on time.
Okay, so what do you hear over, and old kids already know this, so what do you hear over and over and over again? Resource card and do your homework. I mean, I don't tell the kids, hey, please say this. They say it themselves. So the old kids know what a resource card is. For the new kids, on any quiz or test that I give, you can have a sheet of paper, front and back, you can write whatever you want. I don't care. If you want to write all the formulas down, all the procedures, examples, the day before any, not quiz, but before any test, I will give you a practice test. And the practice tests are identical, except for the numbers, identical to the real test. I mean, all I do is just change the numbers. So if the first one is adding two numbers together, the first one on the test will be adding two things. You will know what's on the test. You will know, well, I don't know how to do that. I'm going to screw that one up, right? But I make it so that there shouldn't be any anxiety about what's going to be on the test. Quizzes are a different story. But everyone should be okay with tests that I give, okay? Old students, yes, that's true?
Yes.
Right. Right. So a lot of kids, I also allow you to do a makeup test if you fail, unless it's the end of the quarter in the semester. But if you fail a test, you can come in. It's not, you know, I've never had a student abuse that, like, I'll just fail every test, that way I get to see it. And then when I take a retake, I'll be better, because the practice tests are like that. So it's not like that's a good technique anyway. But I do allow for retakes of any test. I mean, I also make it abundantly clear if you're failing my class. Like, I will It'll be up in your grill, so to speak, and say, you're failing the class, right? You need to do something about this, right? So what I guess what I'm trying to say is I make it, you have to be work very hard to fail my class and not know that you're failing my class with all the resources I give. Any questions? What time do we get out of here?
Now.
No. Get out of here at 12:35. So we are going to do focus sheet. All right. Open up that one. Yeah.
So I was working for one book, but it was a
Right.
You
Oh, crap, now.
And
Chocolate
my
milk
mom
crap
lost my
now.
I
I feel like Battle Royale. And all guys are Battle Royale. 60 player Battle Royale.
It's more running around and surviving in a party game. That's pretty good. What you still
Algebra.
What you got? Right here. All right. Who does not have a book?
Go perfectly.
This is
Okay, quiet please. Hey, turn it off. All right. Here's what I need you to do. Open up your book. There should be a number on it. The numbers look like MS0. I'm sorry. They look like
Yeah, it's MS.
It's MS00.
MS something something. 3s all the way up to 5s, right? You see that number, everyone?
Yeah.
That's what you're going to look. You're going to see your name. Now, there's a couple students you're not going to find your name. You're going to print your name right here, right? Right. That's going to tell me that you have the right book, right? It says checkout date. Today is the 13th. You're going to confirm. Oh, I screwed this up. All right, because it already has the name and the number. Never mind. All right, look at your number. Who has MS 30? All right, that needs to go to Chris. Hand that book to Chris. Yep. All right, who has 31? That goes to Piper. Who has 32? That's going to go to Lily. She was in your class all last year. All right, who has 33? Let me have it. It's a new learning thing. Who has 34? All right, it goes to Mike. Where you at, Mike? Where's Mike? Mike Drake. You go by Michael or Mike? Okay. Who has 35? Goes to Kaylee. Who has 36? Goes to Rowan. I don't think. Right there. Who has 37? Let me have it. E-learner.
How many e-learners do we have in class?
1, 2, 3.
Both Haley's and Sears.
Who has 38? Goes to Tristan.
We'll take these from last year.
Who has 39?
Last year.
Who has 40? Goes to Porter. 40. 40. Who has 41? Goes to Ryland. Who has 42? Goes to Landon.
Oh, I don't even have to get up.
Who has 43?
I do.
Goes to Anna.
Ouchies.
Who has 44? Goes to Riley. Who has 45? Goes to Sophia. Who has 46? Goes to Nathan. Hey, keep chit chat down. Who has 47? Goes to Josie.
I knew it.
Who has 48? It goes to Aiden. Who has 49?
I know.
It goes to Julie. Julie, where you at? All right. Who does not have a book? All right. Tell me that number. Actually, I'm just gonna hand you a book.
There.
Who does not have a book?
She's mentally
All right.
mentally
So,
challenged.
open up
If
the
you
first name, sorry, the last name, first name, and then next one up.
I'll see you. Oh, what? So, what you do? So, don't you sing? I teach her. I was like, yeah, it's just water.
What number do you have? 33. So you put your last name first name. Last name first name.
How dare you
I know.
snitch?
Go fix it.
Josie, so many smiley faces.
And then okay, who's it? It's you? Number you got? 44. So last name first name. And then scratch that number out. And put 44. All right, everybody has a book. Hey, look at your book. Even though someone may, Josie, even though someone may have used it last year, you don't have to put your name in your book. I would recommend it, right? Because, you know, books can get lost. So I would recommend right now, it doesn't matter pen or pencil, where it says issue 2, put your name, and then you can put the year if you so desire. Rylan, we're going to have issues this year, right? If I'm talking, listen, please. Okay? Open up your book, put your names in them. No. And that way, there's a chance that if your book winds up, usually what happens is that you're in study hall and you got your book open, and then you're so happy to leave the school that you leave your book there. At least we have a chance of getting it back to you without having to go and look at numbers because it has your name. All right, we're going to start tomorrow. All of your books are in what? New condition, right? Even though they've been used a year, I mean, they're not literally new, but I'm saying they are in great condition. Yep. You need to get a cover for your book, not one of those cloth covers that rips the binding out. So we're going to ask you to use a paper cover for it, right? In art class, supposedly, right? Or there's going to be some instructions. I believe Mr. Surratt, because he knows how to do this, is going to give some instruction for the people that don't know how to turn a paper bag into a cover. So we would like you, if you already know how to do it, go for it, right? No tape onto the cover. You can tape the paper to the paper, but I'm saying I don't want any tape touching the book itself when you put those together, so that when you have to rip off the tape and rips the book apart. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right, Rylan, do you think you're going to be able to sit there or no?
Yes, I will be able to.
All right, you get 1 day.
One whole day.
Right, and if it doesn't work tomorrow, then by Monday you will be seated somewhere else. Right. All right, we get out of here at what, did I say? All right, it's 28, so we got 7 minutes. That's 3 days. All right, so we did chit chat, keep them to a low roar, and where do you want to get water or what?
I love how you said be quiet. My dad told me you're shut my little sister at Fred's on our block. So like tiny children and it was so nice. They'd be like, you want to go to the house? Right? And they'll feel the trampoline and posing on each other. I've never made that noise in my I was like, what is that? Getting into the crowd